story of a monster awoke.
Demons run within my veins, promise to keep me safe.
Hey guys, this is Spark Plus Ultra here, and this is my new What If Deku was Gore Magala, Plague of Darkness. And I hope you like this video, and hope you... Azuka Midoriya was born with a different deformity. He was more paralleled aggressive. Unlike most incarnations, this version of Deku is the definition of dangerous. Heck, he's more so near Shigaragi's level, making him all the more dangerous. His quirk is called Plague Dragon. Whenever he touches any living thing, they become into a trance, into a plague like rabies or any type of disease from the Black Plague. And Zuko can go even further than that. Zuko can create some bona fide scary shit. And we're going to put him in a unique way. Azuka Midoriya was in a cell. Not any cell, but a containing cell unit where he was experimented on. And the doctor was intrigued on his quirk. That his quirk is so valid, so unorthodox, so genius. And Zuko gives a stare at the doctor and hits the glass, trying to spook him. But the doctor says, "Nice try, but your quirk is so amazing that it would make Shigaragi's quirk more enticing. I'll get all more." Then Zuko, while he's not looking, looks around and gets his claws out and breaks out of the containing glass with all his speed and with nanosecond precision. He got out of there in the darkness below. Zuko is looking for Shigaragi and going to find him. Zuko starts soaring from darkness to the city, where he comes across many different people. Zuko doesn't really care if they come near him, but when a person touches him, he becomes sick with an unknown plague that was hitting him, attacking his vulnerable sides. Like it was an instant. He is suffering from it. Zuko hides in the dark. Heroes were trying to find and trying to contain the Plague Dragon, or Azuka, but they didn't find him. But then Zuko hears a faint sound that was reminiscent, but he hears some fighting, something that we never hear before. There's like an army of villains and a big one with some people. Zuko goes to the place and finds a training building that is called the USJ. I'm gonna have fun. Let's see how much damage demolition can I make? And Deku crashes down from the glass and sees tons of villains and some heroes in training. Deku smiles and says, "Well, I was waiting for some fun to begin." Then Deku looks at the big one. "Ah, you're more enticing. I'll kill you. No hesitation." And Shigaraki says, "Who the heck are you?" And Deku introduced himself. "My name is Deku Midoriya. Or Gore Magala. We want to call me that." And Shigaraki says, "You're the experiment that gone loose from Doctor." "Oh, you heard it here? You heard me not from. No, you're not all. And Deku smiles and says, "Well, it's good to see you. Now, the fun has really begun." And Deku walks towards Shigaraki, and the villains say, "Hey, you're not going anywhere. You got some people to deal with." And Deku looks at the villains and says, "Better stay out of my way. You're too weak, you threat." And the villain says, "What was that? Why don't you say it to my face, you overgrown pipsqueak?" And he goes for the punch, but then Deku dodges with 1 second. Deku grabs the villain's face and says, "You really are pissing me off." And plague comes off of the villain. And what the hell? And the plague insurged in him. "Why don't you fight your own friends?" And the villain gets enraged. "I'm gonna kill everything!" Increasing his strength by enragement. The other villains try to calm him down, but get demolition all around. And Deku just walks towards Shigaraki and says, "Where are we going, Shigaraki?" And Shigaraki says, "Interesting. Doctor said that you can create some plague like that mirrors the resemblance of the Black Plague. Nomu! Attack him! And the Nomu attack. Zuko dodges the punch and says, I knew you were a coward. And slashing the Nomo's leg. And the Nomo's legs were cut, but not damaged. They're regenerated. And Zuko says, so the doctor wanted a zombie? Why does that not surprise me? And Shigaraki says, so plague doesn't affect on it. That's good. Because the Nomo is rival to All Might. And Zuko looks at Shigaraki and says, why do you think plague doesn't affect him? The plague only affects living things. He's already dead, not the plague. Then Zuko creates something that would impress the skies and says, well, it can't be helped. And darkness creates around the skies and says, I'm not just an ordinary plague. I'm the dark plague dragon. And darkness comes around all over the skies, making Japan look like a volcano hit, and ashes were swarming, and says, well, I call this the Dark Void, or the Dark Plague, where Zuko creates a darkness like plague around the skies. Zuko absorbs all the sky, changing the color to blue to dark black, and says, you think I'm gonna let this mere insolent monster to kill me? I'll show you what a real monster is. And grabbing at mere seconds in the shadow, grabbing the Nomo's head and arms with his wings, and says, now, Dark Gulch, and gripping him limb from limb, and says, now, Shigaraki, where are we? And Tomagiri grabs Shigaraki and says, we need to go. He's at his strongest when he's having darkness around him. And Shigaraki says, no, I won't let this little prick get one over. And Tomagiri says, too bad, and teleporting him out of there. And Zuko says, I knew he was just weak. And looks at the heroes and says, you're not worth it. And flies off, turning the darkness off. And man, that hurts. And Azawa says, we need to get everybody and prepare for something big. And that's where I'm ending this video. I hope you liked this video and hope you subscribe. See you next time. Plus Ultra.